Independence Week here on Daybreak, and it's Thursday. Right now, we're delving into the major topic for discussion. We're talking entertainment, which evolves and can be, it involves and can be adapted to suit any skill, ranging from an individual who chooses a private entertainment from a now enormous array of pre-recorded products to a banquet product, to a banquet adapted for two, to any size or type of party, with appropriate music and dance, to performances intended for thousands and even for a global audience. Now, the experience of being entertained has come to be strongly associated with amusement, so that one common understanding of the idea is fun and laughter, although many entertainments have a serious purpose. Hence, there is the possibility that what appears as entertainment may also be a means of achieving insight of intellectual growth. Right now we have in the studio a composer, that's music composer and music artists in the name of Femi Adeboye. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning,
sir.
Femi Adeboye.
Yeah,
how are you today?
I'm okay.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Now, to a layman, what is your personal definition of entertainment?
Entertainment is all about, it involves so many things.
Okay.
We can talk of movies, we can talk of music, we can talk of comedy.
Okay.
So, entertainment is, the exhibiting your innate talent or your innate aptitude to entertain some people.
Okay, you mentioned movies, music, and comedy. Now, these are different forms of entertainment. Now, looking at those industries, the music industry, which you are part of, the movie industry, and the comedy industry. What would you say have become of this in the past years and comparing it to this year? Because the movie industry sprung up, I think it was 1992 that Nollywood, and right now it's like the second largest according to, in terms of movie production. So what would you say have been the case for it from years back to now?
Well, I can say it's social media. Social media and internet access. It has helped greatly to in this sphere, because in those days, even if you release either record or film, before you will be looking for money for advertisement, you will not see. I used to follow my brother when he was alive. We will release an album. To get even to get sponsor is a problem. But these days, you can easily release a song and put it on social media. From there, so many people will stream it online. But in those days, it was not possible.
So before the advent of social media, you mentioned your brother, the late Benga Adeboye of blessed memory. Remember him for the good things he has done. So before the advent of social media, how was he able to scale through? I think it's more like a persistent thing. When we now have people who, because of social media, they now are feeling more relaxed. I think that's where I'm trying to go into.
It was not easy. It was not easy for him in those days. We used all kinds of media to advertise his work. We will go to different places, and even before you can sell 3,000, if you are able to sell 3,000 records in those days, you are a champion.
No.
But these days, it is very, very easy. Even before, that's why I've not been releasing my songs till today. I was having that problem. And when I had the opportunity, I was not around. So now that I came, I just want to be releasing, because it is now very, very easy. You will release it, put it on Boom, put it on YouTube. Before you know it, you are popular. But in those days, it was not possible. It was not. We went through hell. Yes.
Okay, now tell me, is Nigeria, would you say Nigeria is maximizing the huge benefits of entertainment?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Tell us more then.
There are Nigeria as a nation. This is only this entertainment industry that is flourishing now. And I believe...
Are you ruling out sports?
Sport. Is that... Sport is not... I don't think our sport is at the level it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Nothing is working in Nigeria. Nothing is working. In fact, I give kudos to musicians, to artists, to all those people in this entertainment industry because they are struggling to make it flourish. They are, in fact, the level at which this industry is today, in fact, let's give kudos to those who are in the industry. They are really working. Because in Nigeria, there is nothing. Do you want to talk of agriculture? Do you want to talk of shipping industry? Do you want to talk of aviation? All of them they have become moribund. But it's only this one that is flourishing. ICT, we are at the lowest level. We are doing nothing. Technology, nothing. Nothing is working in Nigeria. It's only this one. And if the government can help, because this entertainment industry is contributing a lot,
of course,
to the GDP, the gross domestic product.
Yeah.
It's contributing a lot. So if government can help, can still pop in some money, at least they can even increase the level at which they are operating today.
Now this industry account employs about 1 million people, 1 million Nigerians, and that's the entertainment industry generally.
Yes. And
it accounts for and generates over $7 billion for the economy, according to IMF reports.
Yes.
And the industry accounts for 1.44 GDP, still according to IMF reports. But we still see for an industry that accounts so much GDPs and an employer of labor, like I'll put it, we still have issues like privacy, copyright challenges, and it limits the monetization of this sector. So looking at these things, what really, in your opinion, what really can be done to tackle these problems?
You see, this issue of piracy and copyright problem, hardly can we solve the problem now. In this economy, so many people don't want to be criminals.
They don't want to be criminals.
They don't want to be criminals, but they are criminals because some things are pushing them to be criminals. Some people are not like you and I, who can endure suffering. They will do everything to guarantee their tomorrow. When you are living in a political system where there's no trust, when you don't trust the system in which you live, you will do everything to survive. So this issue of piracy, there is hardly nothing we can do about it. Are we now saying there are no laws against piracy? There are laws, but people are not obeying the laws.
So is it from the people or really from the government?
It's from the government. But every fault in this country is from the government.
But then Nigerians are supposed to be patriotic, are supposed to have the interest of their nation at heart. So if the government is not putting things in place for a better life for you, is it enough reason to make the system worse than it should be? Because it's okay to blame the government for everything. But come on, how about you and I? We're really the government. We're really Nigerians, you know. No,
they don't believe. Those who are criminals, those who are doing those things, they don't believe in what you are saying. Those who when there is a rampage or something like that, riot, those who will put fire on government buildings, they don't believe in what you are saying. You understand? You and I believe, this is our heritage. We must keep it. No, some people don't believe. They believe that this is the source of their investment. So let us burn it down. That's exactly what is happening. So issue of piracy, I'm afraid there's nothing we can do to it for now.
Okay, now, definitely piracy is one of the problems
Yes.
facing the entertainment industry. Okay, besides that, what other difficulties are there?
As I said, there are some people who have talents. They don't have fund. They don't have money to exhibit their talents. So that's one of the problems. And if there is no free access to internet, to social media, for example, when Twitter was banned, I believe it affected so many people. So many people depended on that Twitter for their livelihood. When it was banned, there's nothing they can do again. So there are so many difficulties facing the people. But the most important one is the fund.
Okay.
So maybe media houses, government, and so on, they will be organizing forum where talent will be exhibited. And then from there, you pick and you sponsor those who have talent. That's all.
All right, now comparing the music industry then and now, we look at some music in some musicians, the likes of, well, I wouldn't want to really call names now, but some musicians then and now, you see that if you play some of their songs now, yeah, let me just call Bob Marley, Lucky Dube. We have all of these African musicians who have really done a lot, and their lyrics still make so much sense till now. And now coming down to these days, we have music that is not really based on listening to the lyrics. You are not as motivated as you should be, which is supposed to be one of the aim of music. So comparing the lyrics to production system then and now, one would expect it is better now because of social media, easy access to sponsors through
yes.
all of those. But looking at it, how would you compare it then and now?
Music in those days and there is a very great, a wide gap between them. In those days, musicians were talking about morality. These days, people don't care about their lyrics. They can say anything. Even something that will affect homes, they will say it. So there is a wide gap between music of those days and music of the present generation. Wide gap.
So this gap cannot be breached?
It depends on, songs. To compose a song depends on where you get your inspiration from. Some inspirations are gotten from God, while some are from Satan. So it depends on where that inspiration comes from. So there is nothing we can do about it if government don't censor some music. There should be censorship of some songs that this should not be released into this society because for morality's sake. Yes.
Now, in talking about the differences that exist between music of those days and music of today,
all right,
you mentioned lyrics and probably the quality of the lyrics. But when you come to think of it, you mentioned it also that music has given the country exposure.
Yes.
Added so much to the GDP and all that.
Yes.
Now, if you place them side by side, music of those days didn't give us as much as music of today is giving us. Yeah. Isn't it something worth commending?
Yeah, it's worth commending. But in those days, they did not have access to what we have access to today. That is why it's not giving us. It would have given us more than what music is giving us today, if not for lack of access to what we are having today. So if Ebenezer Obey, the likes, if they had had access to internet, to all sorts of things that can expose them, they will have gone too far. Because up to today, when you listen to Bob Marley, even if you don't like reggae, you will love it. Lucky Dube, Peter Tosh, listen to them, you will still love it. So, even when you are speaking jargons, when you listen to those who are speaking morality, you will listen, you will want to know more about them. So the problem that they had then was lack of access to what the present generation.
Technology.
Yes.
Okay, now what kind of music do you play?
Yes, I play reggae. I compose reggae and I sing reggae.
What's the
For example, the first one I want to release now is about Nigeria. Nigeria Awake. I have Nigeria Unite. I have Better Days Are Coming. I have so many songs. But basically, I want my own songs to be instrument against oppression. The oppression in this country is too much. The political class has dominated our life. They are doing what they want, and we have to resist them. And you see reggae generally, when you listen to one reggae artist or the other, you will see that they are always against oppression. So that is the kind of song I want to engage in.
You want to, or you're already engaged?
I am already in it. In fact, I brought one CD. We are still in the studio. I just want, we have not finished
the work on it.
The work on it. So I just say, okay, please help me record. I'm going somewhere, and they give it to me.
So altogether, how many albums do you have?
I don't have any album yet. I just want to begin now.
Wow.
Yes.
So what have you been doing all this while?
No, I'd been a sales rep. I'd been a teacher in South Africa. I'd done so many.
Teaching music or something?
No.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Yes. The music industry, you've been doing amazing jobs all this while, yeah? And now we're glad you're back to finally take the bull by the horn and go into what you really love. And we wish you well in your endeavors. Now,
thank you.
Now looking at this places in Nigeria where the entertainment thrive more, places like Lagos, Asaba. That's for movies, notable movies shot in Asaba, Lagos, some part of Abuja, distribution, and some part of Enugu, distribution, Aba, and even our Alaba market here. Now, these places should be for a sector that generates a lot of income for us. These places should be more like a warning, more like, state of the art. But look at going to Aba, you know how Aba is like. Even our Alaba market here that is supposed to be a multi-billion naira that generates a lot for us. You go there, you look at how it is. Some places in Asaba, it's not as amazing as it should be. Do you think the government should really put so much into places like this that generates? It could even be a form of tourism for foreigners that come into Nigeria to see where all of these things come out from.
Yes, the government's supposed to do some wonderful things there. When you are getting money, there is a popular saying, where your treasure is, your mind will always be there. So the government ought to do some things to revamp those areas, to make them attractive. Because that is where we are generating income for today from. That's why we are generating a lot of income from those areas. So the government should pump money there so that the place can be like all those places can be like tourist centers. Yes, the government should do something about it.
Talking about great Nigerian music artists that have died, would you say that the government has a role to play that it ignored to those who these artists left behind? And is there anything you think the government should have done concerning the past great artists, Nigeria, like the ones you mentioned. We have the likes of Oliver de Coke. We have the likes of Stephen. Do you know them?
Yeah.
Should there be anything government should have done that it didn't do in form of remembering them?
Nigerian governments. I was born during the Civil War. And in 1970s, I was in secondary school, in primary school. Yeah. I've never seen a government in Nigeria that cares about the people. Yeah. They don't care about us. They care about those who are in the political class. They don't remember those who are not in the political class. They will remember people like Awolowo, people, everybody in the political class, they will remember. But people that are supposed, for example, Fela, they should, Fela, they regard Fela as the enemy of the government. So there's no way they can remember him. They can't. But it's you and I that we attach importance to Fela. They don't.
All right, now talking about late Nigerian entertainers, your brother was one of the big names, and he did amazing things in the entertainment sphere. And today happens to be his posthumous birthday. Yeah, and yeah, about your brother, what would you say was his kind of person?
My brother was a good person. He was versatile. You know, when I was talking initially, I talked about movie in the industry. Music, that's a subsector. I talk about music and comedy. My brother was so versatile that he touched all those.
Entertainer.
Yes, he produced a film before he died. He was singing and releasing album, and he was a comedian. In fact, I can say that he is the pioneer of the stand-up comedy as we have today. He was an MC. By the time he began, we used to collect 300 naira for MC. And by the time he died, we were collecting 500,000. That's 17 years ago.
Wow.
So that means he had contributed immensely and people recognized him.
So how has it been for his family lately? Because we just talked about the government trying to recognize people like this. So how has it been for your brother's family since 17 years ago, that was 2003, till date? How has it been for him? And do you really wish that probably something better would have been done to remember names like him, his brother?
Well, I cannot say government per se, but General Dia has been so sympathetic towards his family, settling bills, school bills, and so on. And in fact, he has contributed immensely. So that's all I can say from the government. It's not really it's not in the government, but from a person who had been in government. And that's the whole thing that I've seen about him. He has not been immortalized. There's nothing like that.
Is anybody from the immediate family, I mean, his own family, he was married, wasn't he?
Yes, yes.
Okay, from like his children,
yes.
Is anybody taking after him?
No, they have not started, but I believe at least one or two of them will start very soon.
Wow.
All right, now back to Nigeria at 61. Tomorrow we'll be celebrating 61 years independence. You said you were born during the Civil War. So
yes.
If you had to go back in time and probably put some things in place and make sure that, some seeds that were planted will germinate and grow into trees, and some trees are harmful, some other trees are good. So in this industry, if you had to go back in time to change something about the industry to make sure it germinates into a good tree, what would that be?
I don't understand your question.
My question is, if you had to change something in this sector, that's paraphrasing, had to change something in this sector, because the music industry, you said the government has not done so much, it's not doing so much, and lots of things has to be done. So I'm asking, if you had to go back in time to put some things in place just so that this generation would...
That is, if I were in government.
Maybe
I
even as an
changes.
individual, yes. So.
Yes, if I were in government, I would invest so much in this industry. You see, there are so many, God has blessed Nigeria with so many things. We have everything. I don't know why we are not getting it right. Everything. Human resources. Talk of all these little guys around. They are very intelligent. Show them, tell them to do one thing. They will do it perfectly. Look at these musicians, all these little boys that we're having today. So if you encourage them, you set up a place where you can, fish out talents. It will be better for the industry. So if I were to make something remarkable, I would do such things so as to make the industry more flourishing.
Placing entertainment and education side by side, a lot of our young ones are now going into entertainment, movie, music, and then playing down on education. What should be done? Because education should be the bedrock of success for everybody.
Yes.
But it's now being neglected. Most of them go into music, they want to shine. What are people like you doing to encourage the youth to imbibe education as they are going into entertainment?
Where education is the best legacy. Is the best legacy. In fact, the value of, the value of in education cannot be bought with money. It's not possible. But these days, when I was in UI, there was a lecturer of mine. His name was, he's dead now, OBC Ngolise. He would, anytime we had his lecture, when he enters, he will say, who wants to be rich in this class? All of us will raise up our hand. I want to be rich. He said, he will say, if you want to be rich, go out. Go and start something now. There's no richness here. So those who want to be rich, let them pursue what they are pursuing. Music, anything. But those who want to be valued in society, because it will get to a time, no matter how rich you are, when they are calling people, there will be some gatherings where you will be displaced. So it's very important to have education. Even if you want to be a musician, go to school, go and read music. Yes, go and read music. So that you will be valued tomorrow. My child is richer than me today. My own child. He does so many things.
Does he do the same thing you do?
No. He does so many things. He's not doing what I'm doing. In fact,
he's richer probably because he's educated. Is that what you're is that what you're implying?
Yeah, no, he's educated. He's still at FUTA.
All right.
Federal University of Technology, Akure.
Okay. But
whenever I see that it's not serious, why are you doing this? You are so concentrating on this. There is value in education. Go back to school. Go and do this. Go and you say, okay, Daddy, it's okay. But Daddy, could you believe that it's even better to be rich rather than to be educated? I said no. You have to get education first. So he's struggling. He's struggling to read now, because when you see somebody, a child of 22, having millions, what do you expect from him? So, and even we, his mother has a MSc,
Wow.
medical sociology. I have a BSc political science, diploma in postgraduate diploma in financial management, masters in business administration,
Wow.
and he's still richer than us. So how do you want us to convince him that education is good?
All right.
That's the problem.
As a way of getting your final thoughts on this, what do you have to say generally to the youth out there, to the music industry pioneers, to the players in this industry? What do you have to say to them?
All I will say, especially to the musicians, is that those who are not educated, they should please go to school so that they will not be displaced in future. They will not be displaced. And those who are the pioneers, the music directors, let them continue what they are doing and even put in more effort so that Nigeria will flourish from their angle.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir.
Femi Adegboye.
Yes.
Thank you, Femi. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, there was Femi Adegboye, a music composer and also an artist. We'll take a short break now. When we'll come back, we'll wrap up the show. Stay with us.